Okay, Valtteri, Dalindeo has a new album out, soundtrack for the Sound Die. It's called How You Feeling?
I feel excellent. It was an album I really spent a lot of time and effort making. It took a while, but I think it was really worth it, and I'm very happy with the end result of it.
So you told that the album was a long process to make, and it involved, I think you recorded this album in several different cities, right?
I started to compose the material for the music when I was living in Paris, and this was spring 2008. And then I moved to Finland, and we started the recordings in the fall of 2008. And this involved lots of recording sessions with different instruments and lots of arranging work in between. And then the final recordings were in February 2009 with the recordings of Baika in Berlin.
There are two tracks on the album with the vocalist. How did you originally meet Baika?
I heard Baika's voice was in Berlin in 2007. We were on a gig with Dalindeo, and this was something that I immediately enjoyed a lot. I can't even remember which track. I guess it was something with Poets of the Rhythm, and this was really great. And when I was starting playing the second album, I wanted to have a vocalist on it. So I contacted her, and then we became friends, and then we wrote the tracks together in Berlin in February 2009.
Earlier, Dalindeo was more like, your sound was more Latin-based, maybe some Brazilian influences, and now you call your music cinematic jazz. Can you tell me something about the evolution of your sound?
Well, the basis of when we started to play with Dalindeo, it was a period where I was really heavily inside Brazilian music, the whole culture of Brazilian music, and mixed that with jazz. But nowadays, this is already several years ago, and now I'm really focusing more on jazz and even some swing jazz and older styles. So, as far as the cinematic qualities, for me, it's as a composer, I strive to create moments and atmospheres and things like this with my writing, and especially when it's instrumental music, it's really possible to create these moods and ambiences with melodies, and so it ends up being cinematic jazz for me. And
So when you compose, do you have certain kind of images in your mind, or do you see some kind of places, or how do you get inspired, and how does this sound kind of have this visual quality when it comes out?
I think this is how I approach composition nowadays. It's a lot about having a certain atmosphere that I try to create in the music, and this is something that I really work before even going on the piano to write any notes. Somehow, once I have a strong enough vision on what I want to compose, then somehow I go on the piano and I start to write things. And for example, on the album there's a song called Belleville-Pontin, which is these are two areas in Paris, and I was living in Belleville, and this was something. I had the melody, which is it has kind of this Eastern Balkan vibe. Even this melody, I think it came out when I was walking this distance in Paris, and somehow it's a lot to do with somehow having a vision of something and then kind of creating it inside music.
Dalindeo has always been a tight unit live, and the early reports from the gigs now tell that you're especially burning places up now. Can you tell me something about the live sound that you have nowadays?
It's been a very nice evolution. It's also happened because of the tunes we're playing, because they have changed, and also the live setup has changed quite a bit. On also the instrumental side, our woodwind player Pope is playing mostly tenor sax nowadays, and it really makes the sound more rough and live. And also the drummer Jaska is evolving constantly, and now he's really he's a house. He's kicking. Yeah, so I think this the whole. It makes Dalindeo nowadays like a jazz band that I like to hear myself, with lots of energy and really no boring moments, let's say, on the concerts. Very much looking forward to touring with the new album.
Dalindeo.